Hello world, and welcome to my channel. This will be the last video on this current part of the build, and the costings. I'll do that at the end. It's going to be a very quick one. In the process of just putting this aluminium edge strip on. Still lift things out if I want to. I'm going to paint this area black so you can't see it. Over here I just made up a little table to go onto there, and the other table goes onto here. I can't get it square, but I've hit it. I'll try and get it done a bit better than that later. It's pretty close, but anyway, I'll get it done a bit better than that later. Yeah, so that'll give me that table there from King's. There'll be another bit of table here and up there to put stuff as well. And I am going to use this edge along here. I got a bit of aluminium I took off the side table that was along here on my drop down sides, and I'm going to make it so a piece goes into here, so you can use this edge as well, put stuff on. So I'll have plenty of tables, and it packs up pretty small when I'm finished. So yeah, I'll have that there, one up there, and this here for preparation for 2 people at least. Yeah, so that's the plan. Everything is going good, so I'm not going to do too much more until I use it, and that won't be to probably couple of months until it gets cool. I've got to put everything up and see if I have to raise this door yet. It's resting on there. Resting there. I think I'll have to raise it up a tiny bit, but it's probably the last thing I'll have to do with that awning. But yeah, I'm happy with this table set up here. I can still push that in there like that a little bit, and I can push that right in completely like that, or take it out. That can stay on there. Yeah. Well, I just finished painting around here roughly. I might give another coat another day around here as well. Just mounted the fuel container here. I had that sitting in the shed with the container when I had it in the car. Took it off about 3 years ago, I suppose, and stuck it in the shed. Now I went back on. Lockable. You lock it here. Undo that. To get it off, you've got to slide the whole top up. And it locks the cap so no one can steal fuel out of it. I suppose they could bend it up. They're that desperate. Yeah, so I'm going to probably get another one and put it here eventually. Yeah, so yeah, paint it around there, down there, and around there. The other side I had a bigger brush. I changed brushes. I found an artist brush so I could do a bit neater. But yeah, this is the end of this build coming up. So I'm going to do some costings of it and talk you through it. Right. So the first part of this build, when I did the floor, the bearers under the floor, and this first part of the floor up to there, so I'll go through that first. So the canopy, the titanium 1600 checker plate canopy, they fitted it and they gave me the bolt for that spare tire over there. They gave me that. That was included, and that was 2,780. The aluminium I bought under this floor, I bought a 6.5 meter length of it from an aluminium supplier. I got them to cut it into 4 pieces, 4 equal pieces, and that gave me enough with a bit of gap on the ends to run electrical for later. And it's 3mm thick. I could have got thinner, but I went with that. So the aluminium supports was $120.24. I'm going to put all this up on the screen. Now the marine outdoor carpet, I bought a 3 meter length of it, and it was 2 meters wide, black velour from Bunnings. That was $140.55, and a tin of contact, 1 litre of contact adhesive, $31.59, and I got a couple of paintbrushes for $14.55. I think there was 3 in there. Okay, now the second part of the build. Second part of this build, I bought another sheet of plywood. And the first part of this build, included in that first part of the build, was a sheet of plywood which is 2400 by 1200 by 15 millimeters structural plywood, and that was 86.20. So that all those figures I gave you this then are all the first part of the build. So the drawer on the other side over there, that drawer, that is a titanium Titian. It's a Titian 500mm single drawer, and that was $99. The table that fitted onto that drawer was $99. Up here, up there, that 12-volt control box. I'll go the other side maybe. Yeah, so that 12-volt control box up there, that was $138.95. I bought cables and things like that from Jaycar for $106.65. I went and bought another sheet of plywood which is 2400 long by 1200 by 1500, and that cost me $86.20. Another liter of contact adhesive, but I bought a different type, I think. It came to $24.29 for that tin. Bought more paintbrushes and that come to $22.20. I bought a pack of poly clamps that are irrigation clamps, the plastic saddles they use in irrigation. That came to $5.25. I went back to the aluminium supplier and bought all this trim here, the angle for here under here, and I bought that. I got about half of it left over, so I got a 3 meter piece of angle, which is 40 millimeters wide, 40 by 40, 6.5 meters long and 3 millimeter thick. I also bought for this edge here I couldn't get the one I wanted, but I got a 12mm wide by 25mm wide by 6.5 meters, and that was 1.6 millimeters thick. That came from the supplier as well, and that was 91.71. So that all come to, including the canopy, come to 3,846.38. That is, the canopy was 2,780, and the materials come to $1,066.38. Now, with this build, I already had the battery and the battery box. I already had the battery monitor. I already had the red arc DC to DC charger. I already had the King's 1500 watt inverter. And I forgot to add to that list the lights I bought. I paid $120 for the two lights. So you could say the materials come to $1,186. $1,987, yeah. So around there, $1,200, you could say. Yeah, so I'll go back through it again. I already had the battery box, the battery, the monitor, the red arc DC DC charger. I had a lot of stuff wired and Anderson plugs. Already had the the power inverter there. Already had the dirty gear bag. Already had the spare tyre. I already had the jerry can holder and the jerry can. Had to buy another lock the other day. Bought a pack of 4 that are locked the same, because the one I had wouldn't relock itself. It was so old and so rusty. This is a brass padlock. I'm hoping it's going to last longer. So that'll be locked the same. This one here will be locked the same, and I can put a chain around that, run it down and lock it around the side down here. So run the chain down to there and back up. So I can lock that in place as well if I need to. I already had the kick-ass shower tent and already had this. But I'm just going through the canopy build. So, if you didn't have the gear, the dual zone fridge, I paid $570 for that. The fridge slide up, I paid $199 for it. The red arc DC charger was on special. It was around the $500 mark, but you can get one from King's for $269. Yeah, so I'm just going through this canopy of the build at the moment. So there are things that aren't here. Most people do have things. If they're going to do a canopy build, they already had some stuff. So I'll put this list up on the board, on the screen, and go through it. But yeah, I'm happy with this build and how it's worked out. Yeah, that is not resting on there yet. That can go up a bit higher. So that'll be going up to about there. So, and it clears my head at the moment. And but if I've got a tool friend, it might hit their head, so might have to raise that up. I'm going to set it all up once when I go camping and try it out. Well, I hope you like these videos. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Cheers.